Hello friends, I want to talk to you today about cooking Iberico pork. And I want to say there's three words you need to know anytime you're cooking Iberico pork, and those words are low, slow, and resting. You want to cook the pork at a low temperature. I'm going to cook today in an oven that's about 225 degrees. And I'm going to bring it up to about a 121 to 125 degree temperature internal before I bring it out of the oven. And then what I will do is I will tint this for about 20 minutes and then turn the oven up to 500 degrees where I can get it really nice and roasted brown. I'll keep watch on the temperature because I don't want this piece of meat to get over 140 degrees. I prefer that it be closer to the 135 range, which will create a kind of a medium, leaning a little bit toward rare, but more medium piece of meat. And this today is a beautiful piece of meat called a prime rib roast. And it is really nice. It has 5 different ribs in it, and those ribs and bones will give it extra flavor along with the oil. Now let me talk to you a little bit about the oil, or the acid, the oleic acid that's found in the fat of Iberico pork. And this particular fat is also found in olive oil and many other oils like pecan oil, macadamia nut oil, canola oil, and other oils that we consider to be more healthy than regular oils that you cook with. And this oleic fat, only olive oil has more oleic fat in it than does Iberico pork. And the fat is white and creamy and soft and absolutely delicious. It is marbled throughout this meat, and it permeates the meat as you cook it slow at a low heat, and then you let it rest before you ever sear it. So what we're doing today is a reversed sear on this beautiful piece of meat, the standing prime rib roast. Now I want to also talk to you a little bit about these other cuts that I'm going to be cooking today. This is a thick cut pork chop. These are nearly a pound apiece. And you only need really salt and pepper. As you can see, this is a real red piece of meat. It almost looks like a sirloin steak. And that is typical of Iberico pork. It has that real rosy red meat. You may have heard in the past the pork commercials about the other white meat, as if white is healthy. Well, let me tell you something. The white on the fat of an Iberico pork is healthy. And other than that, you want the meat to be rosy red. And that's what these pork chops will be. What I'm going to do with the pork chops is I'm going to have some of this Spanish olive oil in a pan, in a skillet on the stove. I'll get it up to about 420 degrees where I start seeing it to smoke just a little bit. And I'll put those pork chops in for about 1.5 minutes on each side till I get them really nice and crisp on the outside. And then I'll put them in the oven and bring them up to about 135 degrees. And again, that slow, low cooking in the oven is what's going to make that fat permeate, and the searing actually seals that fat into the meat. Now this cut that I'm also cooking today is called a presa. The presa is the prime cut of meat on an Iberico pig. This is between the shoulder and the ribs. And it's cut out. A lot of butchers don't know how to cut it out, but if you've got a good butcher who knows Iberico pork, he knows exactly what you're looking for. And I'm going to cook this exactly the way I'm cooking the pork chops. I'm going to sear it on both sides and bake it until I get it to about 135 or so, and it will create a medium rare piece of meat. And if you let it settle and set for just a minute as it rests, all of that juice will basically permeate the meat, and when you cut it, you would not be able to tell the difference in either taste or the way it looks in a Wagyu piece of beef. It's that beautiful and that absolutely delicious. Now I used a little rub called butcher's rub on the presa, even though salt and pepper is really enough. You don't want to cover up the flavor too much. And on the standing rib roast, I used this Spanish rub called a bosque, and this is basically just sun-dried tomatoes, smoked Spanish smoked paprika, some garlic and some onions. So it's pretty basic, and I just put that on the outside of this piece of meat. And I'm just going to use salt and pepper on the pork chops so that you can see what the Iberico pork tastes like, just with very simple seasoning. Now I've got my oven heated to 225 degrees, and so I'm going to put this standing rib roast into the oven, and I'm going to let it cook there for 2 or 3 hours, but I'm going to be watching my phone to make sure that that temperature, which is at about 50 degrees now internal in that piece of meat, I'm going to watch it till it gets to about 121 to 125 degrees. Then I'll take it out and finish it up. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll be coming back when it's time to cook pork chops in Presa and show you a little bit more about the cooking process. Thank you.